welcome to casting the Spotlight episode number 198, and it is October.
Yeah,
and this is the Daylight
October
in the Dark Part 7.
Damn, that means what, we're on our 4th year of this?
Yep. 2022 was the first time we did one. The comeback year where we went really hard. We released a shitload of episodes. We're just shy of 40 this year, I think, at this point. This is like 38 for 2025.
Yeah. Been getting at it.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty hard, it feels like. And there's Leo making his introduction, rubbing his head here on the microphone.
So anybody familiar with the Daylight in the Dark series know how passionate we are about the season, the horror.
Yeah, just
We got a
horror
lot of shit
movies
to
in
talk
general.
about.
You know?
We do, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's it's like one of my passionate things anyways, but it's kind of nice that there's a part of the year that almost feels like the rest of the world indulges in one of your interests.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
so,
and honestly, like, all that, like, whenever you would come hang out, like, way back in the day, and, you know, we just, like, compile all of our movies and be like, all right, let's just binge a lot of this shit. And, like, a lot of that led to, you know, just kind of watching more and more and more stuff together and, like, you know, seeing, like, exploring, I feel like, the genre a lot more.
oh, yeah. And started kind of, like, diving into more different, like, well, you know, after you binge the series of some of the main things and kind of start diving outside of that a little bit, and then I, like, started my blog, and then I was like, oh, I want part of this to focus on horror too, and I started, like, listening to some YouTubers and, like, some of their different kinds of movies they talked about and reviewed, like, the horror side of YouTube and stuff, and started checking that out and got a Shudder subscription, and, like, so yeah, it almost feels like in the more recent years it's definitely dove deeper into, like, some stuff that I never really would have thought that I probably would have sat down and watched and seen.
Yeah.
Even a few years ago, but kind of went down the wormhole a little bit, and some of it has been a positive and some of it has been a negative. You know, sometimes you stumble upon sort of something that, like, you really enjoy or relate to or like, or kind of want to pass on to somebody else, and other times you're like, Jesus Christ, that's an hour and 40 minutes I'm never gonna get back. You know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're gonna crack. Like, there's gonna be
especially in horror.
There's gonna be a few that just fucking miss the mark big time. But for this time around, the Daylight in the Dark, Part 7, this is only the second year we've had this segment on here, this or that. So tonight it's gonna be in the horror direction. It is going to be horror movie sequels / second film, second installment, however you want to phrase that.
Yeah.
But everything's going to be a sequel.
So yeah,
and
just
the
the
direct
second
follow-up.
movie in the series, or if it's just a duology or a trilogy or
Yeah.
whatever it may be, just
As long
the
as
second film.
The second one, yeah. The follow-up. Alrighty, well, for your measuring stick tonight that will be compared to everything else is going to be Jeepers Creepers 2.
Damn, that's actually out of left field, because, I mean, I guess kind of a spoiler alert, but that's not even on my list. Like, I didn't even really, like, I love Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2, but I didn't, like, think about necessarily throwing that one out there, but it's a good one, because I like it quite a bit.
Yeah, and I just, it hadn't been on my list yet, and I was like, that's a good one to throw on there. It's like the main. So, its first competitor may not be easy, but you know what to expect to some degree, because all the 2s are on the table, including ones both of us may or may not have thought of. So, alrighty, up first against Jeepers Creepers 2 is going to be Child's Play 2.
Yeah. Swinging for the fences immediately.
Is it though? There's a lot of follow-ups that are of quality though.
I mean, there is, yeah. But those are both sequels in series that I like really enjoy the sequel of. Like outside of Jeepers Creepers 1 and 2 though, not much of that series is worthwhile. I still like 1 the most. Whereas Child's Play, it's like I like 2 or Bride the most.
Yeah.
So, in that sense, I'm probably going to lean Child's Play 2 by a hair. But it's close.
Did you ever see Jeepers Creepers Reborn? I never saw that.
Which one was that? Was that the
came out after,
fourth one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen
but
that.
But I don't think it has anything to do with what they tried doing in 3. I didn't think 3 was too bad.
That's the thing.
It wasn't 1 or 2.
I thought 3 was kind of meh. And then, yeah, I heard they were, like, doing something different in 4, and some people are hopeful about it, and I never watched it, but I didn't hear a lot about it, so that made me assume the worst.
I'm pretty sure it got way worse ratings than 3.
Yeah.
Reborn, yeah.
I think it's just because, like, 1 and 2 just felt so like something, like, almost a singular story, and it was also, like, had that aesthetic of being an early 2000s movie.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them.
01 and 03.
And, like, just the nostalgia of being a child and that feeling of cinema. It's like, that puts those ahead because of that also. But also it was like, that was the story. If they wanted to follow up on it, they should have did it in like 06, 07, 08, somewhere around there.
I wish they had.
Instead of waiting as long as they did. Because at that point it was like, yeah, they were big when they came out, but like so much had happened in horror since then that, yeah, like true horror people were like still knew about Jeepers Creepers and watched them and liked them, but it didn't have that like name value anymore. You know, they didn't even get a theater release, I don't think, for 3.
No, I don't think so either.
So
you're taking Child's Play 2 by at least a hair?
Yeah, it's close, but...
Next up, we've got Jeepers Creepers 2 or Aliens.
Aliens took it a different direction for sure. It's kind of like Jeepers Creepers 2 and Aliens are almost like different sequels, like entirely. Because Jeepers Creepers 2 is like, he's within his same span of days in that movie. It's like, almost feels like a direct follow-up. And like Aliens, it's not too far in the future, but it's also like, it doesn't lean as far into being like that mysterious horror trapped in space kind of vibe. It's like, it really leaned into the action a lot more.
The second one did?
Yeah, it kind of like took it in a different direction. It was still good, but I prefer Alien. Those two, like, Alien is Ridley Scott, who's a legendary director, and Aliens is James Cameron, who's a legendary director.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like wild that they did those movies.
Oh yeah.
That said, this is just like, I know if you're like a cinema buff, Aliens is probably a better movie. The horror nerd in me, I'm picking Jeepers Creepers 2.
I was thinking, I thought you were about to laugh because you're gonna be like, oh man, it's gonna seem like I'm shitting on Jeepers Creepers, like you're about to take it over it. But yeah, I see what you mean. Like, I've only seen it once, so like in all respect to Aliens, and I don't know if it's on my list that you came up with for me or not, but I'm like, I don't know if I remember it enough from that viewing to like fairly judge it. But I remember liking it, but I think I only watched it once. It was on like one of the lists we watched.
Yeah, I think I showed it to you. It's like we watched the first couple. We at least watched Alien and Aliens together.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because 3 is pretty poop, and 4, I mean, not great.
Resurrection.
AVP is cool, and Requiem, like, I actually get more entertainment value out of Requiem than most people do. Most people shit on AVP Requiem.
The second one, yeah. So next up, Jeepers Creepers 1-1. Jeepers Creepers 2 or Evil Dead 2.
Damn. So, like, I was trying to evaluate the Evil Deads the other day, and I'm like, I think I just prefer the, like, over-the-top gore, kind of silly Ash Williams Evil Dead. Like, not that the recent ones,
He's crunchy.
like, aren't obviously great horror films. Because they're just like super in your face horror films, like the one from 2013 and Evil Dead Rise. But like a big thing for me with horror, I feel like it's rewatchability.
Yeah.
And like Ash Williams and the like over the top chainsaw on the arm, taking heads off, ridiculous one-liners. Like Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness is just some of the best.
Yeah.
Stuff because Bruce Campbell. So again, by a hair, Evil Dead 2.
Hey, he was the guy in the when we saw Spider-Man 2. They wouldn't let him in.
Like
shit.
Promoter guy.
He was the announcer too. That like he's like the human spider, and he's like, that sucks.
Yeah.
He's like, so he named Peter Spider-Man in the Tobey series. The terrifying. The Amazing Spider-Man!
And he was. He went in there and he did it.
So, but yeah, he was in that. I forget who he played in 3. Oh, he was the guy that was like, do you want me to put it in the wine, the glass, like the French restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever Peter like wanted to propose to Mary Jane, and then it just went sideways. Yeah. Peter. Jeepers Creepers 2. So you're taking an Evil Dead, huh?
Yeah.
2-1. Jeepers Creepers 2 is down. Next up is going to be Jeepers Creepers 2 or Scream 2.
Oof. Man, that's tough too. Scream, that's the thing, like, I love that series as a whole, but like the original Scream is one of my favorite horror movies ever.
Mm-hmm.
It's one I, saw too whenever I was like 12, 13 years old. So it like had that impression on me. But it's like been kind of like a toss up for a long time if like 2 or 4 was my second favorite in the series. And I've always, like, there's problems with 2 and there's things that are like, oh my god about it. But overall, it's still very, very Scream.
Yeah.
They're in college.
It's really good, I think.
Randy dying is a bucket of horse shit. But
they were going to probably off him at some point, though.
the way they did it, though,
No,
come on.
No,
Broad daylight pulled into a van. This is fucking Randy. Dude, give him a respectable death. Make it the night of the crazy shit where everything goes down and he's caught off guard. Oh, fuck. He rounds a corner, there's Ghostface. Has a little bit of a scrap, he goes. You know? The way that it was like, oh, he gets pulled in, he's diced. That was horseshit.
The way they tried to reconcile the people that were pissed off about that is probably by him recording that tape in Scream 3 and then being like, hey, if you see yourself trapped in a trilogy, I thought, you know.
Yeah, and then they like brought in his sister and like had the videotape.
She was
and
still in. She's like the mom of those kids. Yeah, fucking. They're gonna be in 7, just not the girls. But the siblings will be.
Yeah.
Mason Gooding.
Mason Gooding. Yeah, and
he didn't last very long in Fall, man.
The one girl that's
he slipped on that shit.
One girl that's like the new Randy.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen her in other stuff since
Yellow
then
Jackets.
too. Oh my god. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
I knew. I'm like, I just couldn't make that connection.
Revelation.
Yeah.
At least something else too, but I can't put my finger on like what it was because I think she showed up in a movie I watched not too long ago.
That said, I think it's just I hold the Scream series in high regard as a horror series for me, and Scream 2 is one of the best of that series. So Scream 2's got.
I would probably say that too. Next up is going to be Jeepers Creepers 2 or A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge.
I don't even know really what the overall take on A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is. Because I see some people like it and some people like really, really don't. I think it's semi-decent, but it's like lower middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Overall in the series. But it's still like easily watchable. It's not even like 90 minutes. It's like under 90 minutes.
It's like an hour 25. It's so fucking something like that.
It's like such an easy watch. And it's like very different from the rest of them. Freddy has his knives like right out of his fingers in that one. That's way different.
Yeah.
He like attacks an entire group of people at a pool party.
Somehow different weird shit happens too, like where objects are like possessed and shit, and like then that bird flew in and
the like house
explode. Like what the? How can some of that be?
Yeah, he became almost like a demonic presence possessing the house and Jesse.
I think some of the nightmares had pretty good stories though. If you look at for a horror movie, they had a little bit of growth for the actual main characters instead of everybody just getting slaughtered right away. In like 3 and 4 or 5, like even 5 for all its faults, like it was still trying to carry on the story they had been trying to tell from 3 to 4 and then 4 to 5. But it had a whole other set of issues in that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that says not one of my favorite nightmares.
Yeah. Me neither.
I'd probably prefer Jeepers Creepers 2 overall. So yeah, I'd probably give the edge that way for sure. But I do think A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is still like a pretty easily watchable film.
It is.
I don't have like a whole lot of problems with it. It's just not necessarily one of my favorites.
Alright.
So what, it's 3-2 or 2-3 out of favor right now?
It is. What did you take over? You took Aliens over, right?
No, I took Jeepers Creepers.
Oh, yeah. You took Evil Dead, Scream 2, and Child's Play 2.
Yeah. So
Jeepers Creepers is losing 2-3, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, next up is Jeepers Creepers 2 or Saw 2. Which is pretty good. It
is good.
There's a few people I've seen name it their favorite one, but like it's not overwhelming by any means. It's kind of like
I have seen
So
a lot of people put it pretty damn high.
yeah,
So
I probably put a few over it, but
I
it's
do too.
up there. It's I think it's better than the first.
yeah,
I think it's better than 7, Jigsaw, probably 5, Spiral. I think it's better than all those at least. Maybe not 3, 4, 6. I just watched 6 the other night. Actually, for the first time, I started October off with a Saw movie. I looked through some of the past lists and stuff, and I was like, huh. I actually did different Halloweens within a couple years, and I was like, or no, maybe 2 or 3 years. I was like, man, I always try to switch it up, you know, but I had never done Saw, to my knowledge. It's because I watched 2 several weeks back, and then I was like, I'm going to watch 6, but I also want to watch 3 and 4. The main reason, like we've talked about, we can even arrange them in different ways and not have to do the, you know, because by now, after years of kind of watching them in order for the most part, like we know the stories.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, it's a lot easier to just be like, I'm going to digest what I want and can get to.
You can kind of just
in the
dive
series.
in wherever in the series.
I know I'm going to get to most of the Nightmare on Elm Street, so I'm probably going to watch some of that series in order for sure. But we'll see how it goes.
What was it? Oh, yeah, Saw 2.
Yep.
Man.
That was like the only one with like a huge group too, which was like the overarching game. I mean, there was a few towards like 6 or 7.
It wasn't
that were
necessarily
bigger.
like pointed at one single direction the whole time. Yeah, I liked Saw 2. It was on the upper half of those.
Yeah.
But it wasn't one of my favorites in the series either. But it was still like, man, that needle scene, it was one of the scenes in the entire series that fucked me up the most.
Yeah.
I think. But probably give the edge to Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah. That would be a little tougher, I think, than some of the other ones would be, like for me. I mean, I would maybe ultimately agree with you on that, but that one would be really close too. But there are several Saws that are pretty good, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like 3, 4, 6, and Saw 10 were all pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Next up, we have gotten Jeepers Creepers 2, or Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Damn.
Wearing the shirt today.
Yeah, and I had like kind of stood up for this one off air a little bit too. Like, I do think that it is not one of the best in the series by any means, but it is like notable for standing out because he's like a sackhead in it, and he carries an axe.
Yeah.
And that he doesn't really do that in any of the other ones. You know, that's not like his weapon of choice or like his gear. So it's kind of, now looking at it, it's like, oh, that's different. At the time, it was like, oh, we're just going to make a sequel to the first part, and this is her son, he came back.
Mm-hmm.
Still entirely unexplained, though, how he was a child, even at the end of the first one. When he popped out of the lake and pulled her, he was a kid.
Yeah.
And now he's this hulking dude.
Well, it was just some like freaky shit. I felt like I don't know. I mean, I guess it was real whenever he did that, but it was
just like a curse maybe on the land.
Yeah, I don't. That lake, the lake, really.
It's a curse, yeah, around the camp. But
I think Jason said on whenever they were on last year that, because I asked him, I was like, "What's your favorite Friday the 13th?" And I think he said either 2 or 4.
Yeah, I mean, I have heard some people like 2 is definitely it's one of the more like, if you want to look at like, I feel like people that are into like film probably like 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like an early on one. It kind of has that grindhouse feel to it with these like directors on a low budget still trying to scrape by and make it, but also is kind of innovative. I prefer Part 6. That's probably my favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a silliness factor, but it's also like it felt like Friday the 13th in his prime. And, like Jason just looked great in it. Just a lot of fun.
In pop culture, it hit like a stride too, because it was like late 80s, and it had like been soaring, you know, just eventually getting like the traction, and you know, more people were coming out for him. Same as like the Nightmare on Elm Streets.
Yeah. That said, I'm probably giving the edge to Jeepers Creepers 2.
Alright, so I think it took the lead back, right? Jeepers Creepers 2 over the only ones you didn't were Child's Play 2, Evil Dead 2, Scream 2.
I think that's it.
That's the only ones that beat it. And you took it over Saw, Friday the 13th Part 2, Aliens, and Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yep.
So now it is winning 4-3. Oh boy. Alrighty, well next up we have gotten a few more. We've got 3 more here. Jeepers Creepers 2 or Terrifier 2.
Damn.
Terrifier 2 is pretty.
That's a close one. Yeah. Terrifier 2 really like upped the ante because the first one was a good like modern day grindhouse feeling low budget sort of like horror film where it was like, oh, this director and these actors had this vision and they kind of made a little something happen with it, you know. But like 2 had a full-on story arc. There was a final girl, you know, and her whole story and the family, and it was super brutal. It upped the ante in that as well.
Oh yeah. I thought 2 was dope. It was sick.
Yeah, it was like modern day. It's one of the more like shocking, in your face, but also like celebratory, good for you, feel good like horror stories where it's like, you know, like these actors and actresses and the filmmaker himself, like they weren't really anybody before this, and they kind of like, you know, they blew up over it and they got a budget, and you don't like see a lot of that modern day with like, especially like a slasher kind of franchise, you know,
with like a lot of practical effects and just blood,
and practical effects too. Is like, I love that shit, you know. That's like one of the things that I love about horror, and that's why I think old horror too is just so nostalgic and timeless, and I love it because it's like it has that like grainy feel, and it's like all the effects of the kills and everything you see, it's like it's all practically done, like Tom Savini and his wizardry and shit that he did, and a lot of other people too, like, you know, it wasn't, who is it? Greg Nicotero.
Yeah, I was about to say Greg Nicotero. He's
like,
a man.
There's just like, there was a group of, you know, guys back in that era that were just like wizards with this shit, you know, and they could, like, that stuff's just super cool to me. And like people that still modernly use practical effects, it's like I really respect that because it's cool to see in films, and it's like, I don't know, it just kind of gives that vintage vibe to it too.
Dude, that's why I always say, I'm like, the sets, like what they evolved to by the time it was the 1990s and early 2000s, like, yeah, some of those are the movies we grew up with, but also if you look at them, it was way before CGI had really taken over, and like it was only kept to a minimum. So like they assembled all those sets to look so realistic by then, and they could do so much more practically instead of CGIing a bunch of stuff into the film and making it look real. And the sets were incredible. Like the stuff they made, like the Batman Forever one. Like I would watch the special features on the DVD and just be like, oh man. And like the set was enormous that they had, like this, like the city, you know, and they would have just all this shit built, and like the hard work that gets put into it, it makes it look so much more realistic.
And all the people that get employed to build that entire set, that's wild to think that people put that all together, you know.
I'm sure you're gonna be in some uncomfortable positions to make all that shit work, just trying to fucking paint some ridges and shit. Did you answer in that one? Jeepers Creepers 2 or Terrifier 2?
Look, I gave all the credit in the world, man. Oh, that's so tough. I think I'm going to give it to Terrifier 2.
Okay.
It is super, super close. And like I said, I prefer the first Jeepers Creepers to Terrifier, or to Jeepers Creepers 2.
Yeah.
So it's like, if it was Jeepers Creepers to Terrifier 2, Jeepers Creepers would probably win. But Jeepers Creepers 2 to Terrifier 2, I'm probably going to give the edge in the way of Terrifier. At least on the night. Don't hold me to that, but that's a close one. But yeah.
All right,
Terrifier 2 for the win. The new T2.
4-4.
Yep.
Next up, we have got Jeepers Creepers 2 or Halloween 2 from 1981.
Halloween 2. It's a close one again. Like Jeepers Creepers 2, fun movie. Halloween 2 is like, I almost feel like Halloween and Halloween 2 are like one movie. It's just like part 1 and part 2.
Mm-hmm.
You almost like take that as one piece, you know? So like, and it's just like an early kind of like slasher film too. Like I feel like a lot of inspiration is still done from even that one. It, again, like when it comes to horror sequels, it had a hand in writing the script of like, oh, you up the ante, this is how you do it if you're gonna release a second film in a series. Yeah, it had a lot, it was a lot more of a innovator within the genre. And
that's what I always say, I'm like,
it's just a legendary kind of film.
Dream Warriors and Halloween 2 was like how a sequel is done.
Yeah.
Like in especially in the slasher, but also like horror genre. Like it built upon what you already had existing, higher body count, bloodier, just scarier in like a lot of, you know, ways. Maybe not, so some people would say, but like it takes it to a whole other level once the thing becomes more fleshed out. So I love both of those a lot as sequels to the originals. Granted, obviously Dream Warriors is 3 and not 2, but we talked about 2 a little bit ago. So
yeah, 2 took an entirely different direction, and 3 kind of brought it back to where the first one was a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got next? What is it, 5-4?
Yeah, you took
4 to 5.
4 to 5. Let's see if it can survive. Jeepers Creepers 2 for the main event here, or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
TCM Part 2.
Oh shit. Oh man, that is a final. That's actually not too bad though. I mean, it won 4, lost 6. Like, I mean, it's not winning, but like it had some victories in horror sequels.
Yeah, TCM Part 2, man, it's just a great time. Like, that's, again, with the rewatchability, that's a movie I can flip on, like, probably at any point and just, like, oh, man, this is just a fun time.
Yeah.
Like,
those guys just...
I enjoy the final girl in that movie, too. I think she's, like, funny and a lot of fun. Like, Stretch, I think her name was.
Those guys
Leatherface
make
was
your
wild.
skin crawl, man. And like honestly,
Chop
Leatherface,
Top was fucking, he's something.
him especially.
And honestly, the cook, he was like, he had more of a like funny character in 2. Like in the first one, I just hated that fucker. But in 2, he's like, he kind of was funny. So
My plate.
Yeah, Chop Top was.
That just
he was
made
a good
you,
character. He was a funny character, but yeah, he looked like a fucking ghoul.
Wait, I always ask you that, but that was the same guy, not the same character, right?
What?
Who played the other brother or whatever in 1?
No,
And
it wasn't
then
the same guy. That was Bill Moseley that played Chop Top.
The one that got in the car and cut himself?
No, Chop Top was that guy's brother.
Yeah. But who played Chop Top and that guy is not the same guy?
No, Chop Top.
Oh my god.
Chop Top is Bill Moseley, who is Otis
Oh, okay.
in House
Yeah,
of
yeah,
Devils.
that makes sense. That's almost weird that that's him.
Yeah,
Damn, he's been doing this a long time.
yeah. But yeah, I think Chop Top's pretty great. Chop Top and Leatherface in 2, it's just like, I love that shit.
Yeah.
And the cook is even like more enjoyable. That's like, I feel like that one, part 2, and the 03 remake, like I said, are like my favorite in that series.
The 03 one was pretty solid.
And I don't know, it's a toss up for which is my favorite of those 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But,
What's his name that plays, like, the dude that always plays the drill sergeant?
and that's a hot take too, because I know a lot of like horror truists are like, how the fuck do you not pick the classic? I know.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
you know.
It's personal opinion. I didn't say I was right.
Yeah, no, who played, what the hell's that dude's name? Who played the guy just, like, screaming at him, yelling at him? The dude that always plays, like, the drill sergeant type character.
Oh yeah.
Prefontaine.
Arlie Army.
Yeah, he was good, man, and all that. He's like, he
The
was such a
sheriff.
great actor.
The fake sheriff.
He's a son of a bitch, though.
He like, I think it might have been in the prequel, the second one. He had that great line where he like, because he takes the badge and shit, and he becomes the sheriff's department, even though there's like, there is none because he's part of the fucking cannibal family. Like nobody lives in this town.
Mm-hmm.
But he like shoots the fucking one cop in the like chest. And then the second cop, he like shoots in the head. And then there's like just the one person that he's like got tied up in the car. They're like terrified. He's just like, well, goddamn, I just shot the whole fucking sheriff's department. It's like 2 guys.
Yeah, I watched both of those last year. I had seen, I think I'd seen the 03 one, but I saw the one after that too.
Yeah, I thought that duo of films were like great. I thought that was like honestly some of the best like Texas Chainsaw material there is.
Yeah.
Was that 03 one and then the prequel that came out like 06 or something. Alright, so what was that? 4 to 6?
4 to 6. Out of favor of Jeepers Creepers 2. 3.
Yeah, 3 it would have probably lost most of those. Alright, so you are up. You are in the hot seat. And your main is going to be Child's Play 2.
Alright. Yeah, that was the most recent one I watched.
First
I got a kick out of it though, for sure.
Yeah. It is a good one. It's like within that series, it's probably one of my favorites. First up, we got Child's Play 2 or Evil Dead 2.
I think I've only seen Evil Dead 2 once with you, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about putting at least maybe a film or two from the series on my list this year, though. That being said, for now, I think I'm going to have to go with Child's Play 2.
Yeah.
Personally. I need to watch them, though, because I think I watched that one, and then the one with you, and then Evil Dead Rise, and those are the only ones I've seen.
Yeah.
Is Bruce Campbell in that like Ash versus Evil Dead stuff too, or what?
Oh yeah, he's like one of the. He's Ash. He's
yeah,
like one of the main guys.
Yeah, I mean, I knew he was Ash, but I was like, he's. But were those live action?
Yeah.
Really? Were they good?
I enjoyed that series
Okay.
a lot. Yeah, but he was. It was definitely like a horror comedy.
Yeah.
But because he was like an older Ash and shit too.
Wasn't there like an Ash versus Freddy versus Jason comic or something?
It might have been.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Actually, that's what Cedric said earlier.
But that said, you're taking what, Child's Play 2, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured some of these you would probably potentially take Child's Play 2, so we're gonna get them out of the way early. But this one you also had on my list, kind of covered it a little bit. Child's Play 2 or Aliens?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of along the same lines. Like, I enjoyed Aliens. I still haven't watched it again. I have seen Alien probably at least 3 times, but I've only seen Aliens once. I'm gonna probably hand that one to Child's Play 2 as well.
All right,
Off the cuff here.
it's up 2-0.
2-0, baby.
Running.
But yeah, I think I enjoyed it from what I remember, and I certainly enjoyed like the original. And I mean, to this day, the series is still going.
Yeah.
Is that Alien Earth show have? I mean, is it part of the whole thing? I guess.
It's a prequel to Alien, the original Alien.
Oh, okay.
All right. So next up, Child's Play 2 or 28 Weeks Later.
I enjoyed 28 Weeks Later. I don't know if I would take it. There was times when I'd rewatch it that I was maybe like, is it better than the first like 28 Days Later? But now that I like have seen them all, and I haven't watched 28 Days or Weeks in at least probably a couple of years, but I really enjoyed 28 Years Later too. So I really thought that was, you know, a better like horror trilogy than some. And I mean, that trilogy is probably a little underrated. I thought it was sick. I thought like the 28 Years Later was pretty cool idea. And I was glad to see like they finally made another one. I figured one day they would make like a 28 years or 28 months later.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't do that. Surprised that they jumped the years, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, after being so long, I guess they just figured, okay, well, let's just do the years this time. That being said, I will probably take Child's Play 2.
All right.
In this scenario as well.
And next up, Undefeated, Child's Play 2 or Saw 2.
Well, it kind of goes back to what we were saying. Like, I really like Saw 2 in a lot of ways because it's also where John Kramer, in like real time, is showcased a lot. And, you see him and Donnie Wahlberg's character, like, just go back and forth, and he's obviously a cop, and like their whole dialogue together was sensational. Yeah, Detective Matthews. But I thought their whole dialogue was like sensational. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And I think it made you more invested in the John Kramer like character, and it kind of unwound throughout the rest of the series, even after he died. It was interesting.
They just kept bringing him back in like the other films, even after he was gone.
Oh yeah, well it was kind of like they say the Book of Saw, like the
Yeah.
story keeps like unwinding, and they show you all the pieces and stuff. I thought it was so cool because he's just got so many great quotes, and that whole office scene where he's talking about the insurance with his like, the guy that he gets his insurance from and stuff. The very end of it, and I've shared this quote I think on something before, but he's like, he tells him, like whenever he asks, he's like, "Oh, I'm a perfect candidate for this free trial, for this trial, and there's, it's got this % success rate, and they inject suicide genes in you, and it's supposed to attack the cancer cells." And he wants to try it, and then he gets turned down, and he's like, "If you try to go through this, you could be turned down and removed from having coverage completely." And that's where he just is like, gives him that whole speech about like healthcare and stuff, especially in the country, and like. I think towards the very end of it, it's kind of interesting because he drops a little hint to the guy running the company, like before he's like in the saw trap. Obviously, he's like, he tells him, "You think it's the living who will have ultimate judgment over you, because the dead have no claim over your soul." And then he like leans in, he's like, "But you may be mistaken," which means like it's kind of interesting because that's also a way to look at it, like you're taking almost God's will into consideration and what can happen after you die, but also because he sets people into saw traps, and a lot of these things were put in order even if he dies.
Yeah,
they're already set anyway.
That's the thing. You already have a plan.
Exactly. So it's,
when he died.
I think he knew whenever he went in there too, and I think I've considered this before, but that he thought he might be turned down, and he's like, if this guy. There's no way he didn't have information on this guy already.
Yeah.
Like the owner of the like of insurance his insurance company. Because he knew they were screwing people and denying people coverage, and remember, because that whole thing, he was releasing the tapes that time around. There was like, so according to you, this person is more worth living because they're like younger and stronger.
Yeah.
So he just like turns their own shit around on him, and like I was like, man, 6, even as a single story out of the series, 6 is like really strong. So
oh yeah, it's good.
I mean, there's that whole great talk that they had in the office whenever he's like talking about healthcare and like how things are ass backwards, and you're paying for stuff that you don't need. That's why a lot of people in this country say that their healthcare it's kind of scandalous, because it takes it out of your check every month. And you're paying into it, and it almost seems like there should be a different way to handle it, like especially when we are healthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just like we're not even going, and we have to pay out the ass for it. But like you need it in case it happens. But it's just like, what about all the months we don't use it? We should get reimbursed for that shit.
Well, that's just insurance in general.
I know. No, I know. But no, he makes a lot of good points, and I love how he said that, because it's almost like you could take that as, oh, like, well, you don't know what's going to happen after you die, but also just, in case I die, or when I die, like, this stuff's going to, it's going to still happen beyond the grave, whether you like it or not. Like, this shit's going to be set in stone. It's just like to teach, because this dude and the shit that his company was pulling on people, it needed to fucking be taken, assessed.
It was like, they
were fucking
cheered on, basically, like being able to fuck people over. I got him!
Like, oh yeah, they would find the littlest discrepancy, bullshit, loophole in somebody's health history and disqualify them from coverage after fucking,
It wouldn't surprise me if that's kind of how some shit really worked,
Yeah.
It
was such like that motherfucker, he needed to be in a trap, but he got it. So I still haven't answered for 2 or Child's Play 2, have I?
No. It's a tough one here.
It is a tough one.
Your personal opinion.
I'm gonna go very slightly, but I think I'm gonna lean in Saw 2's favor just by a little bit.
Okay.
I think, yeah. Because I was starting to go the other way, and then I'm like, man, 2 wasn't perfect, but it had a lot of great things about it.
All right. So, there's 1 on the board against it now.
Yep.
So, Child's Play 2 or Halloween 2.
Halloween 2. One of the great horror franchise sequels of all time. That one I might, if I have a tough time dealing with one of them tonight, it's probably going to be that one we just answered, Saw and Child's Play 2.
Yeah.
Like, that's hard to reconcile for me, like, which one I like. Because I just am fresh off Child's Play 2, and I, like, probably enjoyed it. And I've seen it several times, but I'm like, I probably enjoyed it this last time. Like, it is not, if not more than ever, like, just as much. So I'm always entertained by it. And, like, it is one of the best ones, I think, of the series. So, and it's higher in its series than Saw 2 is. So I'm like, that being said, yeah, Halloween 2, absolutely. One of my favorites. If not, like, maybe the top of the list or close to it. Certainly in the top 3.
Within the Halloween series?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's up there for me, too. It's definitely the upper.
It's hard, man. Halloween 2 is hard. It's dope.
It is good. So Halloween 2 for the win. It is now 3-2 in favor of Child's Play 2. Next up, Child's Play 2 or the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2.
For now, probably Child's Play 2, but I did enjoy. No, but I did enjoy the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 whenever I watched it last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably with you on liking it maybe more than the original, to be honest. Like, I feel like I could, if this is how we judge it, I feel like I could watch it again and enjoy it more than if I put on the original. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's got more to offer, I think.
It's got a lot more rewatchability.
Yeah.
And there's more story, too. There's more, like, going on outside of just, oh, these people got trapped in this house. Which, I mean, again, like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, is like a classic, but it is like a low-budget grindhouse horror film from the 70s.
Like, it was brutal, and it was breakthrough.
Yeah, it was breakthrough and innovative. That's kind of, like, it just kind of broke new ground and took off and got a lot of name value. But it was a very singular space, low budget, you know, like 70s just, oh, we're gonna fucking make this happen with the little shit we got kind of horror film.
I don't want to make you think either. I'm not even throwing any shade towards Texas Chainsaw Part 2, but
that scene too.
I think it had. I mean, I feel like you would take Child's Play 2 over it too, wouldn't you?
I don't know.
If that's your highest in the series versus... but I guess that's the highest.
But it could be, yeah, it's like that 03 in Part 2 for Texas Chainsaw, and then like Bride and 2 for Child's Play, so... But dude, that scene with Dennis Hopper, too, where he like goes chainsaw shopping because he knows he's gonna have to like face off probably against this dude with a chainsaw, and he's like, I want to take this one, and this one, and the guy's like, oh, you want to try those out? We got some wood out back or whatever. He like goes out back and he's like stabbing. He's like, like swinging the chainsaw around and shit. The guy's just like, what the fuck is wrong with this dude, man? Sorry, I guess I'm getting a sale, but like, what the fuck is this guy doing with these chainsaws?
I might actually watch The Next Generation this year. I've never seen that one. I've never seen that one,
wild.
Leatherface, or the, what's the other one?
The third one?
Or the third one. I've never seen those ones. But isn't 3 nothing like 1 or 2?
3's honestly pretty much like... It's basically like 1 and 2 in some ways.
Is there any of the same characters?
Yeah, I mean, it's the Sawyer family still.
Is it still the same actors?
But it's like... I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. That one was only made in like
New
90s.
Line Cinema took it over.
Later.
Because it was like a new studio that had it at that point, and they were going to try to make it like their next big thing after Nightmare on Elm Street. But they like...
Dropped that ball.
Did their, you know, late 80s, early 90s shit to it, and it just didn't work. I didn't think it was horrible though. His chainsaw in 3 was dope. It was like big as fuck, and it like set on the blade. It was like the Saw's family on the blade. It was kind of cool. That said, you're taking Child's Play 2.
Yep.
All right, next up we got Child's Play 2 or The Conjuring 2.
I finally saw The Conjuring 2 a couple of years back, and I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was pretty damn good.
That's kind of a tough one too, because I've definitely seen Child's Play 2 more. I wanted, maybe I rewatched The Conjuring last year, like the second one. I can't quite remember, but I was thinking 2 was pretty terrifying. Like,
I was thinking that scene of her like twisted up in that like little space in the wall or whatever, and they find her and she's like talking in like the old man's like deep voice and shit, like "let me go" or whatever she was saying in that voice. Like that was fucked up. But yeah, that was honestly like, that one was pretty damn well done too.
I'm gonna probably go maybe by a smidge The Conjuring 2.
All right.
Child's Play 2's been racking some victories up though.
Yeah, honestly, didn't know what I expected from that one.
I didn't either.
Next up, we got Child's Play 2, or, it's not going to be easy on you here, Terrifier 2.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed Terrifier 2 a lot whenever I watched that one. I thought it did all the right things to add to the story, like you were referring to, and like it added lore to it. It got you more interested in like the backstory. I feel like there's some sort of weird thing. Isn't he like their dad or something? Or, oh man, they're like, oh, our dad went crazy. But it's just like, he's like, isn't he like an angel? Or not an angel. He's like a demon from hell or something, clown. He's like he's got something about him. I don't know. I was like, is this guy like in another form like their dad or something?
Yeah, gonna be like Sienna and Jonathan's
Jonathan, okay.
Like dad. But I don't know if it was actually their dad or if it was like,
because their dad had like drawn
just
the face
he
or
had
something.
visions
He like went crazy
of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then like because he also drew Sienna as being like the savior against this guy, like as evil or whatever. So yeah, because like at first, like part of 2, it seemed like you were like, oh, is this their dad? You know, is that art? But then 3 almost made it seem like, no, it was like he just predicted this guy or something.
Yeah. I feel like more will be revealed to us in 4 also. I think this one, by a little bit, I think I'm going to give it to art in Terrifier 2.
Yeah. I do think Terrifier 2 as well, just because like how much it did really like raise the bar and create characters you like cared about and wanted to see win over art, but you still thought art was cool. Like,
yeah,
they worked the dynamic perfectly.
Yeah, which they needed to do for it to not be too one-dimensional. You know?
Yeah. All right, so Terrifier 2 for the win.
Is there one more?
There's 2 more.
2 more. Okay.
Next up, we got Child's Play 2 or It Chapter 2.
Ooh. It Chapter 2 is dope, man. We saw that shit in IMAX at Ronnie's.
Yeah.
Back at the theater, we felt that shit.
A lot of people, like, did down on It too. I definitely think the first one was better overall.
2 wasn't, like, other than that ending and us just kind of being like...
yeah.
2 was really good. Bill Hader and all the adults were fucking into 2. 2 was honestly a great film still.
And I thought that, like, honestly, like, Pennywise being the giant, like, alien crab thing, like,
yeah,
that
right back.
That didn't bother me. Like, that was cool.
Mm-hmm. No, there was some cool stuff
But
to it.
the deflating shit, that was dumb.
Yeah. Into a bitch puddle.
Into a sad bitch puddle.
I think I'm going to give it a little bit to It Chapter 2, actually.
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound like because I love Child's Play 2. It's, you know.
I know I just
I think I'm gonna have
stacked
to
the
go with that.
list here at the end.
Oh, yeah, it's tough. And there are some unquestionably good number 2s. So what is the score up to this point?
It is 4-5 out of favor.
Oh, wow.
Of Child's Play 2.
The
Take
Chuck!
Halloween 2, The Conjuring 2, Saw 2, Terrifier 2, and It Chapter 2 over it. Last but not least, Child's Play 2 or The Devil's Rejects.
Ooh. Yeah, that was that, what do they refer to it as, like hillbilly horror, you said?
Yeah, it's kind of like Texas
Hellbilly
kind of
horror.
like that. And yeah,
That's the zombie
I
version
still
of it.
think, in my mind, personally, and yeah, I thought he did good with the Halloweens too, but like still, House and Devils are, I think, Rob Zombie's best films because they're his characters, his creation, his kind of like masterpiece. Like that's the Firefly family's like his thing, you know?
Yeah.
And I just like, I thought those movies themselves were like innovative, creative, and original in a lot of ways because it was like there was a lot of like House of a Thousand Corpses felt more like horror, like straight on like horror to me in a lot of ways.
It was kind of like, yeah, it was, but it was, The Devil's Rejects felt a little more gritty and raw.
That's
and
what I mean. The Devil's Rejects,
like, some of it was a little
more like criminals.
Was like the House of a Thousand Corpses felt almost like a circusy, at times silly, but also like deranged horror film
and very
like,
dark at times too. Still, but like it was very like it was monster-esque and. Yeah. You know, there was like creepy backwoods character. There was a lot of stuff going on, but like in the third act, you know, with Dr. Satan and the House of a Thousand Corpses, and I still like I love both of them for different reasons. Like it's hard for me to even say which one I like more because they feel like very different films. And Devils was great because it had like the contrast of being very gritty and raw and in your face and like this is rough to even watch this happen to these people, but also like downright hilarious at times too.
Oh yeah, that scene was one of the best of the season, man, ever. Like that, like last year I watched I watched both of them actually, House of a Thousand Corpses too, and that's just murderously fucking funny, man. It's
there's like a few scenes within
that movie's brutal.
Both of them that are like the dialogue's just hilarious.
Yeah, that's not so easy.
It's a tough one for you.
Yeah, it is.
The bottom half of the list has been some pretty tough ones.
Yeah.
It's like Child's Play was like running away with it at first and then it started taking a beating.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it's tough, man, and this one maybe could probably go either way. But I think I might roll with Child's Play 2 tonight. I do like The Devil's Rejects a lot though. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know. But I think think I'm gonna say that tonight.
Alrighty.
And I'm fresh off a rewatch, but I may get to both of those again this year. House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects, but we'll just see.
Yeah. Alright, so that ends in a 5-5 tie.
Yep.
That was a
Tied
good one,
it up.
though. The sequels, that was fun.
It was. Well, I think it's time we go to break, come back in, review, what are we going to be reviewing? When Evil Lurks.
When Evil Lurks.
And Wrong
And
Turn
Wrong
2020 or 2021, whatever
Yeah.
date you want to go by. I've seen both on all the streaming services.
Yeah, it fell during one of those wacky COVID release times.
Yep.
Alright.
So we'll come back, do that, throw out some good, the bad, and the shits for the daylight and the dark here. And stick with us, we will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Casting the Spotlight episode number 198. And it is now time for the movie swap segment. And we are going to go over some films that we recently watched and then give each other new ones for the old season here in the horror vein here.
The horror films, the horror section of the year here.
Yep.
Not that we can't give each other horror movies ever throughout the year on this segment if we utilize it more, but
especially this time.
gotta do it right now.
So, what do you want to talk about first?
What do we got?
Pull a Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, that's something that we should talk about. Like, whose movie did we talk about first last time?
What was the last thing we talked about? Fall and
Heretic.
yeah.
I think we talked about Fall right?
First.
I think so.
I think so.
So we can talk about When Evil Lurks,
That's
I guess,
fine.
for a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about it. So I wrote a few notes I didn't like by the time probably sometimes you get a little bit locked in also, and after a little while, and I was kind of starting to understand, what was going on, a little bit more. I just realized that I left my note. Or no. Actually, no. I'm good. Yeah, I got him. I got a few things. But yeah, once you lock in and you end up seeing kind of the third act of a movie, I just was kind of like trying to focus on what's going on, and I just wasn't taking the notes,
Yeah.
So sometimes they're inconsistent once you like establish the setting, and you like it always feels like off the cuff whenever you're trying to take notes for this, like a segment like this, that you're gonna take a bunch at the beginning, but then you'll like kind of get into the story and try to pay attention to like the actual details.
That's kind of what always ends up happening.
Yeah. So,
especially with like When Evil Lurks too, because it kind of was like a movie that slowly unraveled a little bit, but like once you figured out like, oh, this is kind of like just a different take on possession, basically, like just a force that swaps from you know.
Dude, and see, actually, that's what I wrote down, because I don't know if it was you that told me that, or it's something we had discussed on here with people, or somebody in like a solo episode. I'm not sure, but it reminded me of like the It Follows thing, right? Where it's like a different thing, almost in a way, because it's not the same, but it's like it transfers from somebody every time somebody gets killed, and then that person gets killed by somebody else that's doing the demon shit to them, and it's kind of like it's like a ever-changing transitional demonic presence almost that's like affecting
The
the
last
next
person that died becomes the thing, basically.
Mm-hmm. And I was like, once I really picked up that that's what it was, I was like, oh shit, because I didn't really look at anything for it either. I only knew based on what you told me mostly. Some of the stuff that stuck out though, I was, how you were saying that some of the stuff they do in like foreign films, like, I mean, this one is in Spanish, and I guess I don't know where exactly it was shot.
I think it was like Argentina or something, maybe.
That makes sense. They do, especially in today's climate, like, they're not afraid to cross into, like, areas of shit that's... And the thing is I noticed whenever that, like, goat was dragging around... No, it wasn't a goat. It was that dog.
That big-ass
We'll get to the
dog,
goat in a second. But yeah, when the dog was dragging around like the toddler girl and like, but they would use like high angles, like you could tell what it was, but they weren't showing like the girl like brutalized or anything.
Yeah, it was like mainly you saw her getting swung around the room a little bit.
Yeah.
But
and then that scene that really stuck out, like other than that, like the one scene that I won't be able to unsee is when that guy was kind of being tempted to like shoot the goat.
God.
And then she shoots him and then puts the axe right in her fucking eye and head 6 times.
Well, didn't she axe him in the back of the head? And then she just like turned it on herself and she just like, even as she was like, her brain was clearly fading and she was dying, she was still like...
She did
like slowly
several times.
Driving it into her own head.
And
that was a wild scene.
That scene was like, after that I was like, oh my god. And I was just, you know, I didn't even know what to think, but I was like, that's gonna stick in my mind for a minute because it was so like deranged and like
that's
some of the stuff that we
the
just
like cover to that movie actually is kind of like just the silhouette of that lady like on her knees and the like axe in front of her and she's holding it.
Dude, like some of the stuff that they do, I wish we weren't so pussy to like not like, oh well, it's like that's where you should, just like comedians, like you should be able to cross the line in movies and shows and stuff like that, or you know, at the very least like toe the line and know that it's like, oh shit, but it's like it's art, it's not fucking real life. It's like you should be able to make the kind of thing, no matter how fucked up it is in a lot of ways.
There's too many weird, crazy people nowadays that want to mimic the bullshit they see. That's why.
Well, yeah, but you could go find that anywhere anyway if you wanted to.
Yeah. Especially now the internet's, you know.
So I don't think that's, you know, it's no different than an indie, because then you would have to pull video games into that, then you would have to pull...
I mean, they do.
Yeah, then you'd have to pull, you know, everybody into, you know, so it's like, I don't think that's... Crazy people... should never be the reason why, you know, like, because, you know, that's not typically what the fucking normal person would do, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think we should make rules around them and empower them more with any of this shit.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely was a bit of a boundary pusher of a movie. Like,
yeah. I'm just saying, like,
wild
here,
violence.
It's like, to a certain extent, you're gonna know that there are certain lines you shouldn't cross anyway. No one wants to see. It's the same reason you never see like a child like too viciously or whatever, like in a film. Even in a film, like there's certain things that they just don't show or won't show.
Yeah.
But it's like we've been so pussified here with the way everything. You can't show this. You can't see that. Yeah, everybody's seen fucking everything. If you see it once, you see it a million fucking times.
Yeah.
Like. It's what it is. It's art. Like, that's what annoys me about it so much. Because then it's just, like, there's so many handcuffs and restrictions on things that there shouldn't be.
Yeah, you should just, like, not obviously that every movie should or has to be extra violent or extra whatever it's going to be, but, like, should just make the story you're going to make, kind of.
Exactly.
You know?
If it's, like,
whatever it is.
People are going to know that there's certain things that they're like, yeah, I'm not going to go there, but, you know, I don't know how you can cherry pick what certain issues you can press on and, like, we'll go deep on this, but you can't see or show this or say this. No, like, that's ass backwards. Like, tell the story you're going to tell, and if people don't want to watch it and it turns them off, then don't watch it.
Yeah.
The people that are doing it should never be censored. Like, it should be fucking, you know, it's whatever your preference is. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to listen to it.
And it's going to cause an uproar, though, because it has literally forever. You know, like, all the way back to...
Yeah, but who gives a fuck
forever has been under a microscope where people are like, oh, yeah, like, oh, this is extra violent. Oh, this is, you know, tempting people, tempting our children and warping their minds. And
fucking video games do that.
Well, there you go. You know, they're under attack too.
Yeah, but all that stuff makes way too much money. But you can't, like, I mean, I'm not saying that couldn't be part of it, or, like, you know, to like, oh shit, like, you know, get people to
I mean,
like
it's the
see
same
things
reason that,
differently.
like, back
But
in the
people-
day, Friday the 13th were, like, chopped to bits by the MPAA.
Mhm.
Every one of them. Like...
But, you know, it's the same thing. People are responsible for their actions. It's not... Everybody else shouldn't have to abide by strict guidelines because of the select few that fucked up.
Yeah.
I'll always stand by that.
Yeah. Yeah, Argentina, man, they didn't give a damn.
I
They
see,
just
but
fucking-
even that movie, like, even though they kind of had some wild stuff that you wouldn't necessarily see in some films here, I was like, that still wasn't, you know, insane in like that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there
because
was
some of the
definitely
stuff they
some
didn't actually
shocking
show.
scenes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff they didn't actually. They just showed like high angles, or they showed like a partial scene, and like I appreciated that with it. But I'm like, I also appreciate like. Because, like, you know, they'll make different stuff like that in Japan, too, and, like, they'll make some stuff that crosses the line on a lot of things, but I'm like...
Japan's got some great...
We should fucking
movies.
go back to that. Our movies were the best whenever they were unhinged like that. You could make just about whatever kind of project you wanted to make.
Yeah, it was, damn, I'm trying to even think the last time I think I put it on the list last year for sure.
Everything? Yeah, dude, that goat scene was fucked. That was one of the biggest.
That was hilarious.
That was one of the
not
biggest
hilarious, but that was a scene that was just like, oh my god, like, they did something new in horror to the point that I, like, saw it and was actually like, holy fuck, like, jaw open.
Yeah,
you know?
that was, like, the biggest, like, takeaway that I, like, the scene that I'm gonna, like, remember whenever it ended, just because when it happened, I was so, like, oh, shit.
She still wanted to
The
spread
goat was all
it.
fucked up, and then, yeah. That was intense. That scene was definitely intense.
I mean, smart on her and brave. She thought that she was just making the sacrifice, killing it right there, you know? Alright, it's gonna be trapped, because we're all gonna die right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's got nowhere to go.
But, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was, you know, I think I had debated putting it on before, but I just hadn't. You know, I think it's only been out, since 23, right?
Yeah.
So it hadn't been that long. But yeah, I think that I'd looked at it, like, last year, maybe. I just hadn't watched it. But I did like it.
Yeah,
It was wild.
It was an interesting one.
Mm-hmm. But I made the It Follows correlation, and then I also picked up on those other things there, and I'm like, man, I just think, you know, like, they can do some shit that's fucking, you know, pretty out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cool. It's the way it should be. Especially here. It should be that way. Doesn't make any sense that it isn't.
Yeah. Movies, I don't know. I feel like they're just gonna... I mean, there's still some great stuff released, you know. There's still, like, entertaining movies that I really enjoy every year. But,
yeah.
Like... I don't know. I just feel like they're kind of under that social microscope like all entertainment is now, to where it's kind of just hard to do what you want without causing a major backlash or like getting halted by the MPAA and you gotta cut out all this bullshit.
It's easier for like the streaming services to push like edgier content because they're not getting like a theater release, you know? Where you have to like really kind of abide by certain guidelines.
Which is kind of crazy because it's easier, if you really think about it, it's much easier access for a kid to click on a streaming service movie and go see one in the theater. Yeah. So you would think it would almost be like the opposite, where the one in the theater would be like, oh, well.
I just think it just limits creativity, and that's my biggest problem with all that stuff anyway.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like it was never that big of a fucking, you know, it's like this stuff doesn't, people are responsible for their own shit. You could watch anything from any time, anywhere, anyway, and get the same ideas. It's not about that.
That's the thing. I mean, I watch movies from many a decades past, so...
And we've never done that. Fucking raised hell in a town and... I mean, there's a lot of different stories from the horror genre that you could be like, oh man, this is fucked.
Oh yeah, I mean, they take it some interesting ways sometimes. That's why as a horror fan, when you see them take it in a new and fresh way, or they do some new sort of story, it's like, oh, that's fucking cool. Because you don't really like usually see that villain or that kind of, that played out that way, you know?
Yeah. So, what'd you think of Wrong Turn? The remake.
Yeah. The 2020/21.
Whatever you want to say.
Man, it was, I think it was interesting as a film.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to almost say it's a Wrong Turn movie, you know? It's like it sort of was because it had the premise of, oh, they're hiking on this trail. You know, the townies were weird with them. But it's like, whenever the foundation story, like, kind of entered the fold.
Yeah. It felt like a different type of film.
It was almost like, this should almost be a thriller movie called The Foundation. And it should be this story. Because it was still an interesting story, but it's like,
well,
when you think Wrong Turn, like, anybody, like, as a horror fan, you tell them, oh, you know, the movie, you know, Wrong Turn, you think, like, backwoods, inbred, like, cannibalistic monsters, basically. That's, like, the premise, the whole thing of Wrong Turn.
Well, yeah, but that's why this was a remake.
We're gonna,
It was the same, like, Appalachia area.
And I mean, I appreciate taking it in a different direction again, but it's almost like, well, that's not really what Wrong Turn is. Like, this is a cool,
this one was.
This is a cool movie. But
deaths,
it's like, if you're gonna make a wrong turn,
the deaths were fucking crazy before, like, some of them got there.
I almost thought that the first death, the first guy that got his head smashed by that rolling tree, that was almost like the craziest one.
Oh, I know. This stuff was nuts. Well, and then, like, there's honestly a lot of stuff from what I can remember off the one viewing, like, last year.
Like, that's almost when it felt the most wrong turn.
And it felt like...
Whenever that rolling log happened,
like,
that guy got his head
they would
smashed.
set booby traps like that, basically.
And they just saw that one person, like, behind the trees. Like, somebody's watching.
They were in, like, ghillie suits and shit or whatever,
And then, like, that night, she saw him outside the tent and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing, too. She thought she saw them outside the tent that night after their friend gets his head fucking clobbered by this rolling log that came out of nowhere. She thought she saw somebody then, too. And then that night, oh, she sees a shadow. The next morning, they wake up. One of the girls is gone. And there's nobody's phone is there. All their phones are gone.
Yeah.
And it, like, takes her a good minute to be like, yeah, you know, I thought I saw some people maybe walking outside our tent last night. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you talking? Why didn't you say this immediately? We've all been like,
I think I wanted that when I watched it too. I was like, what the fuck?
And you just been fucking quietly walking around and shit, and then, I thought I might have. What the fuck do you mean? You couldn't have mentioned this? Like, I mean, not that it would have even changed much, but, like, we could have had some sort of idea that, oh, maybe something nefarious is fucking going on out here.
Yeah.
And it's like that, too. Like, whenever... like, I know Adam was kind of, like, meant to be that sort of, like, asshole character that was, like, way stepping over the line. The one girl's boyfriend that was like...
Was he the main dude in the group?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't the main girl's boyfriend, Dimitri or whatever, but he was Millie, the girl with glasses. It was her boyfriend, the white guy, Adam. He was like... meant to kind of be the son of a bitch, but in a lot of like facets, I understood where he was coming from in certain ways, where it was like, because he got tied up. Well, that one. He was, like, way too confrontational with that little girl in the woods. But it's like, he sees that little girl in the woods, and it's like, we saw you in town. Now you're out here in the middle of the fucking woods.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend is gone. Where the fuck are your parents, whoever the fuck you're with? You guys are up to some bullshit. Yeah. So I would also kind of like shake this little girl down a little bit too, but he was like, he was pretty aggressive about it. And then the next scene you see him, he's like tied up on this log and shit. And then like, when he gets out, he beats the one dude to death with the log. And it's like, well, yeah. These motherfuckers tied me up. They're probably going to take me wherever the fuck and kill me. Mm-hmm. But then they tried to say later in the town, the one guy at trial, which that was a load of horse shit. If you get taken, oh, you're on trial. And this fucking, like, little backwoods encampment cult.
After the Civil War, they said they, like, made that their
ancestors. It was right before the Civil War.
Okay, yeah.
Because it was like they felt the collapse coming.
Yeah, okay. And then, so they had been doing their own thing for like 150 years.
It's like those generations. But like, if you get drug in here, drop to your knees, and you're all just in your like underwear basically, it's like, oh, you're all on trial for the murder. But it's like, oh, we're all dying. That'd be the immediate thought.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's no way we escape this situation alive.
You don't want to be on trial in some uncivilized bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like...
But then that one guy tried to say, oh, we found this guy out in the woods. He was acting crazy. He was delirious. Because they didn't speak the same language. That was another thing. Mm-hmm. They're like, so... We tied him up to this log, and we were gonna bring him down the mountain, so he would be closer to safety. And it's like, is that really what you guys were doing? And also, don't act like I'm the fucking bad guy here. For like assuming the worst. You got me tied to a fucking log, and you're wearing ghillie suits and deer skulls and fucking antlers. I'm gonna think you're savages. Like,
oh yeah, no, I was kind of thinking that too, because I was like, are they gonna look fucked up? And I didn't fully know, because like whenever you saw that log shit, I was like, oh man, that's the booby traps. Like they're waiting to pop out, because that's what I was expecting too.
That was the thing too. They were like, oh, we have these traps out here because we catch our own animals. It's like.
This shit looks like it's designed to fucking kill people.
Kill anyone.
Yeah.
It's like, it seems like these are set up to kill whoever the fuck gets too close to you. It don't matter who it is.
Yeah.
So they it felt like they were trying to sell themselves as being like, oh, we're the civilized, self-sustaining group. We don't have to deal with the woes of your people, your uncivilized group with your killing. And then it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You guys look insane. Don't act like we're the nuts for like thinking.
I told you it was a little bit like that, like it had a little bit of a Yellow Jackets in it. And
then on top of that,
had like that kind of stuff.
They beat his head in with the log anyways, because they're like, oh, well, this is an eye for an eye.
Wasn't the
for
girl
crime.
Became like kind of one of his wives? The one guy,
the main girl,
or because they were trying to help each other get out.
Yeah, at first.
And then that ending, what the fuck? Because then she's like, oh, I'm out. And then he's fucking there at the kitchen table.
Yeah, he's like,
what the fuck?
I'm thinking about moving in next door.
Yeah, just to kind of be like, hey, I fucking got you.
I know where you're at.
But then they fucking leave. And then did you watch it until the credits rolled and everything? What the fuck? Because you're like, oh man, she's dead. And then she kills him. And then...
Well, yeah, you don't even think that she's dead. You just think, maybe that she might, but that she's definitely getting taken back to the camp.
Yeah.
And then it's like credits roll as the RV's driving away, and then the RV swerves, hits another car, and then like rolls off the road, and then the door opens, and he's like crawling out of the door, and she like stabs him in the back a bunch of times, and the other dude like runs out the other side. She like shoots him, and then runs up and stabs him, and then her and that like Ruby, the little girl, they like walk away together, and it's like that's the other thing.
That's why
I wouldn't be taking care of Ruby, dude.
No.
Ruby's fucked up at this point. She's been in this her entire life. I don't want to deal with that. Like, and I know, like, there was a little bit of that attachment there, but it's also, like, Ruby kind of sold her out and shit a couple times, too. Like, she was very loyal to that side. Like, I wouldn't trust sleeping under the same roof as that like, little demon girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of, like, funny for some of those aspects, though, because it was, like, this group tried to sell themselves as almost like being, oh, we got it figured out, but it's like, no, you guys are like pretty much a sadistic primitive cult up here. Like, you got it figured out kind of in your own way, but like the way that they like went about even their court system, like, and the way that they handled their crime. Oh, you get the darkening. That shit was fucked up. That was probably the scariest part of the movie. He branded your eyeballs, so he blinded you, and then he pushed you into this dark cave. So there was just all these like burnt out eyed, like blind people just wandering around.
And they had no idea where.
Yeah,
I remember that now. Oh man, that shit was fucking kind of cringy and scary.
And it's like,
ooh.
And that was like one of their punishments, and then it's like the one above that was murder. I'd be like, fucking kill me.
Yeah.
I would much rather you kill me.
Oh yeah.
Than get that bullshit.
And then you're wandering around a cave just endless, and like those people like stop, like they forget how to like talk, and they're just in the dark, and it's just
like munching on whatever shit they find.
Yeah, they just become things, like just these creatures. Yeah, they're all golems out there and shit. But yeah, I thought that too. I was like, that was kind of fucked. Oh yeah, no, I mean that was for sure. That was the point.
Like imagery of the
that
movie.
Was also the point. Is like they were trying to point out, oh, the world's like they have their stuff, and we're gonna go hiking and everything. And that was crazy because it really felt like it was taking it in one direction, and like some of that tree with the rolling, like taking that guy out. Like some of that stuff was intense. Like the buildup was crazy, and then it's totally something different than what you thought. I mean, I know I read you the description, but you didn't know what the foundation was exactly going to be. But the fact that, it led them to that, and then he showed back up after she fucking got away from all that shit. I was like, that's crazy. And like the ending, I was like, it definitely took you in a ride, that movie, for sure. It was...
Yeah, I was, like, almost hoping before the, like, chief, like, the Venable guy, like, the chief of Venable, the people, like, before he took his, like, mask off and stuff, I was kind of hoping for this, like, burly dude, scar over, like, one blind eye, like, the look of, and then he, like, took it off, and I'm like, this is like a suburban dad. Like,
yeah,
he's look like a normal dude.
He was like pretty well groomed,
like clean cut.
Yeah,
his beard was well trimmed. Yeah, I mean, I did enjoy it for the movie that it was. It's hard for me to say that it is wrong turn. like in my mind.
It was
I'm
definitely
like,
a different turn.
it's
that's
a
for sure.
very, very, yeah, it's a right turn. Or a left turn. A U-turn, maybe.
Well, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, this one definitely takes it in a completely different direction to thinking of, and some of them elaborate upon their first original kind of creation, like sort of how like Rob Zombie did, like gave Michael Myers a backstory, but like this took kind of like the setting, but it took the story in a different direction, kind of like other than like the setting was basically the same.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of took like the fallout of events in a different way.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a different movie for sure, like entirely, which again, I in ways also respect that because shot for shot remakes are also no fun.
Yeah.
So
well, and that's the thing. It's like it's impossible for you to be better if you're going to be the exact same movie, except you're not.
You're just different actors and actresses in the roles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do we want to give our new movies here?
Yeah, let's do it. All right, I'll throw mine out first. I already know what it's going to be. I'm just going to look it up here. All right, mine for you is going to be a horror comedy from 2019 called Villains.
Nice.
Bill Skarsgård and Micah Monroe. She's in a bunch of different stuff I've watched this year too.
Yeah, I know her name.
It says they're starring Bill Skarsgård and Micah Monroe as a pair of amateur criminals who break into a house and discover the homeowners are hiding a dark secret. The film follows a couple as they become entangled in a dangerous game of cat and mouse with the seemingly sweet but psychotic homeowners, leading to a battle of wills with dark humor and suspense. But it's pretty interesting. But a lot of it, they go different places and stuff, and then ultimately, like, a decent amount of this movie takes place in the house itself. But I think you'll get a kick out of it, because it was pretty funny along with being, like, a little bit different than usual.
Yeah.
And, like, they're kind of it's kind of interesting that it's called Villains, because they are kind of like the bad guys, and they're pulling, like, petty thievery and, like, getting away with, taking money from gas stations and bullshit like that. And, like, then they end up in this situation where they're actually in the house with, like, these psychotic people. And, like, they kind of have to find their way out, but also want to, so it's, like, it kind of makes for a really entertaining dynamic. But I think you'll like it. It's a fun one. But, yeah.
Sounds, like a home invasion sort of horror comedy, a little bit.
Yeah, in a way. But, yeah, it's kind of fun. Just because up until this point, like, Skarsgård and Micah Monroe are, like, just getting away with it because it's just bullshit, like that they're able to intimidate people without it. Like it's kind of like the people that are trying to be intimidating, but they're actually out of their element. But they're like, it's kind of like you go into the store, but you're not actually a criminal, and you have an empty gun, kind of thing, just hoping people bow to you just so you can let's get our score and then leave. That's the kind of shit that they pull because they're like, but you are criminals doing that shit. But it's just like, yeah.
I mean, still robbing and sticking a place
Well,
up.
and like it's kind of worse in a way because if you get entangled with some bad people and you don't actually know your shit, it's like these people are gonna fuck you up.
Oh yeah, it might be death.
So if you're not a real criminal, but you get involved in the criminal world, you're not gonna last very long. But it's a fun one.
Your bluff called.
I'm sure in the next we'll get a chance to watch these ones together because we got definitely extra time this time around.
Yeah.
So. And you got for me?
Well, I think this time I'm gonna give you Oculus.
All right.
It's one of Mike Flanagan's earlier works. He's done tons of notable pieces of horror at this point. Though he's Netflix, Haunting a Hill House, Midnight Mass, Haunting a Bly Manor, Fall of the House of Usher. He's done Gerald's Game. He's done Dr. Sleep.
Watch both of those.
He's done Hush.
Watch that.
So, Ouija, Origin of Evil, Before I Wake. So yeah, he's
done a lot of movies.
He's done a lot, yeah. But Oculus is still, to me, one of my favorites of his. It's like all in all, it's like, it is creepy and it gives you like just creeped out vibes the whole time, but it's like a mind fuck of a movie. Like, you don't really even know what's real and what's not, kind of like one of those. Description is haunted by the violent demise of their parents 10 years earlier. Adult siblings Kaylee and Tim, there you go, are now struggling to rebuild their relationship. Kaylee suspects that their antique mirror, known as the Lasser glass, is behind the tragedy. The seemingly harmless reflections contain a malevolent supernatural force that inflects the mind of anyone who gazes into it. As Kaylee gets closer to the truth, the siblings become caught in the mirror's evil spell. So it's like a just extremely haunted evil mirror, basically.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it. It's probably one of the movies that I like debated on, or like maybe would have seen closer not too long after it came out, and then I just have not gotten around to it.
It's actually partially one of the studios that helped produce it was WWE Studios.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's kind of just a fun little. It's probably one of their better films.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we got some good, the bad, and the shits to go.
Yeah.
And the movie should be fun, but we'll be reviewing those in a few weeks whenever we get right back around to another solo for the Daylight in the Dark Part 8. Our Jason Takes Manhattan. Hopefully it'll be a little better than that.
It'll roll back around before you know it.
It will.
Or Jason Takes Manhattan. Good lord.
This is the New Blood.
Yeah.
Or our New Nightmare.
Probably. I mean, I actually like the New Blood more than a lot of people do.
Yeah. Well.
Good, the bad, and the shits here.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. You got something?
Yeah, I can throw my first one out.
I
feel like we might have actually, I don't know, I don't think I've done this one though. Eating candy on the break just made me randomly think of this, but what do you think overall of like Jolly Ranchers as a candy? Because like if I'm gonna sit there and I'm gonna snack on candy, I'm not gonna. We kind of talked about it before because Jolly Ranchers have like been in the bowl in the past and they taste damn good, but it's like
you don't want to take that long to eat it.
Always want to be dealing with it for the next 15 minutes. You know.
Now and later's take a minute to eat too.
Yeah, but that's a little easier because you can chew on it. It works the jaw a little bit. You get to do something, you know.
There was one other one I just thought of too, Gobstoppers. Although you can bite right into those, but they just kind of fuck your teeth after a while.
Yeah, those are Gobstoppers are pretty damn good though too.
I agree with that, but I'm probably still gonna say fair for Jolly Ranchers.
I mean, they do taste so good. The
blue
ones
ras
are
for
so
sure.
good.
They are. The cherry ones are great too.
Mm-hmm.
Green apple. Great.
I mean, they're honestly all good.
The watermelon ones,
the grape's good too.
The grape is good.
The watermelon, is probably my least favorite, but
yeah,
it's definitely blue raspberry
grape
cherry
hits
at the top.
Grape hits on that one. Grape's only got like a 60% hit rate, but it hits sometimes.
I like
grape. Blue ras has got like a 97% hit rate.
Yeah.
Cherry's got like a 95.
And they have some good stuff out there.
Yeah. I was thinking about this sometimes. I'm like, what would be a good? Because like orange sometimes. Orange probably hits more than grape, but orange is probably like.
I probably disagree.
Orange is probably a 70% hit rate.
I like grape a lot.
Yeah, but you gotta think, there's a lot of things made where the grape is not good. Because I like the grape flavor, but it is missed on some things too.
I don't know.
The fruit's good, grape soda's good, but its flavored things have definitely shit the bed sometimes. The cough medicine that's grape, it's terrible.
Yeah. But I like grape energy drinks, grape candy.
Yeah, those are good. Some of them. I mean, I thought about trying the grape Celsius because I was like, maybe that's good, but I don't know. See, I mean, I still gave it over half. I said 60%. That's about right.
Yeah, it's, 75 maybe. 75, 80. You can knock orange down to like
Orange has got like a 70%
60.
rate. Green apple's probably got like a 72% hit rate.
So specific.
Hey, I said blue raz got a 97. I mean it's almost got a perfect rate.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment though, because it's like almost to the 100, so it's like giving it damn near but not perfect.
Oh yeah, no, because I would put blue raz the best, but it's still not perfect.
Yeah,
because there's some things that sometimes they fuck up. Like that bang wasn't even bad. I think it's also because it got really worn out on it.
That's definitely what it was. It was just available everywhere, and nothing else was for a good while.
I'm trying to think of something else because it does occasionally happen, or even me, I'll be like, man, the blue raz. I'm like, it's not the best one, but it happens sometimes. Oh man, that's just funny. It's got 70. There's no way this discussion. There's no way grapes got a 75% rate.
I can't think of like any artificial grape flavored product that I'm like, I don't like that.
Oh my! It's because you're gonna stick in your point. You're gonna be like, "No, that's good. That's good."
Because it probably is.
Oh, sometimes it does not hit the mark.
Sometimes
it happens.
75%.
It happens decently often.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know, and there is some orange I do like. Like I like orange Kool-Aid. I like grape better probably. But
grape Kool-Aid slaps sometimes.
Oh
man.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man. Of course, we're in this part of the show, and now it's food's starting to come up, relevant thing again. But yeah, I'm gonna stick with fair for the Jolly Ranchers. It doesn't really have a go-to, but it's perfect whenever you're somewhere where, like, say you're like, oh, we got a 15-minute wait, and you could have a piece of candy. You're like, oh fuck. It'll keep you busy for a minute.
Yeah.
But it's like. But I'm never, like, it's not, I noticed too, and, like, those are the worst to stick into the Halloween bowl. I'm like, it doesn't fit in with some of the other candy.
It's not a snack candy. It's waiting on a bus candy.
Yeah, like, or, like, if you get...
Waiting on something to do.
If you get, like, a bag of them, I can see, like, putting something like that in your car. Because then it's, like, something you can always just pull one out and last a little bit. Like
popping them when you're, like, while you're working. Or something.
I did that with like the mints.
Yeah.
Like those old classic ones, the Lifesaver ones.
Yeah, I do that now, like on my route with seeds a lot. It's nice having an outdoor job and just freely spit them around.
Yeah. I guess I'll throw one out there. All right. I guess this is going to be kind of vague, but I thought of this, and I don't think I'd mentioned it before. Basically just callbacks to previous films and movies. Like anytime, and this is basically covering everything, anytime that people are like, oh, they'll say a line that'll just be directly for the purpose of, oh, it's fan service, we're referencing this thing that you've already seen. So basically across the board in filmmaking, is it overrated, underrated, fair? I mean, because it's always entertaining to us, but do you think there's too much of it?
I mean, I would probably overall assess it as fair because it is always like, to use wrestling terms, gonna get that cheap pop. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna.
That's what it's for.
Be like, oh shit. Like, as a fan of whatever franchise or whatever it is that you're seeing that does it, but it shouldn't be ever overused, especially in a single film. Like, if you're gonna do those like callback fan service moments, like you can't do more than a couple. Moments. Yeah. It's gotta be, you can't like overload it. Like, I feel like there for a while they, like Disney was doing that with some of their, like when they were rebooting movies and bringing series back where it's just like fan service. It was like, well, if you're doing all this fan service, then it's not fan service anymore. Then it's just shoving it in our face, you know?
And it's almost like over abusing the original thing just to be, you know, instead of like pushing the narrative and the story forward in ways. Like sometimes it's brilliantly executed. Like for instance, and to go into like the action adventure, even superhero genre for a second, you know, something as simple as like Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. saying, "I am Iron Man" at the very end of Iron Man 1 doesn't come back until he flips the switch and gets rid of like Thanos at the fucking basically the end of Endgame. And it's perfect because like that's his line. It gets rid of him at once, and like Thanos just said, he was about to say, "I am inevitable," and then he's like, "And I am Iron Man," and then he flips it, and then it's like it's just that was perfectly executed with the callback, the right line at the right time, and it meant everything because it was like
it hit.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it can be really utilized, like that kind of stuff. And sometimes they're just really simple. Like I mean, Star Wars will always like those will reference you know that time and whatever. But like it's fun too for me. Like I always appreciated callbacks in like The Walking Dead. Whenever they do, I guess that's another. That could be two separate things. There's callbacks, and then there's like referring to older history too. Where like, cause I always enjoyed where they like reference, you know, older characters and things that you know came before, kind of
like
stuff.
Reminiscing, on lessons from other people. I mean, yeah, that's sort of a callback, but that's also it is definitely because it is fan service because it's like, oh, the people liked this character and they get to see him again, but...
and they get to reference the person, and it's just like a little nod to that thing, and you're like, oh,
it's not necessarily the same thing though because it's not really like that sort of pop. It's kind of like, oh, you're flashing back on a memory of a time they taught me this or said this to me.
But yeah, I like a lot of that stuff too. But yeah, the callbacks, I mean, they definitely have become, as we've moved into the nostalgia era and really have been in there for, you know, the last 5 to 10 years for sure, for a lot of things. Wrestling, entertainment, even music, a lot of, you know, just stuff like that. It's definitely people are more indulgent in it than ever before, like callbacks and references, stuff like that. But I mean, I always kind of like it, and I think there will be a time where everybody just, there's always going to be some kind of callbacks to certain stuff, but I think it'll be, we'll eventually kind of grow past that too, you know what I mean, as things start to like evolve further again. And, you know, you'll probably always have a little bit of that because it's always fun. And, like, it's the same reason wrestlers do, speaking of, you know, wrestling in this, too, is, like, it's the same reason they do signature moves. Oh, you know, Cena gives you that, like, one slam and then, you know, positions you to where he's going to do the 5-knuckle shuffle, you know, because then he just looks around. Everybody knows what he's going for. So, like, that's the thing. Anytime people can, like, make that connection, that's, you know, what they share in common with the thing. They're like, this is where it is, you know? So it's like, it's always kind of going to be a thing. And I think it's a little bit like that. But,
yeah, I would overall say it's fair because it's like, I think that it's necessary in ways because it's like, you have to service the fans of whatever piece of entertainment or whatever product or whatever it is that you're selling. Like the people that have been along for the journey and the ride, you know, for a long time throughout it. Like
you're giving them,
you
like,
want to keep
payoff.
them happy.
Yeah.
And so I think those moments like definitely help do that in all forms of entertainment, but it's definitely a gentle balance because you don't want to overkill on any of that stuff either. But yeah, I think it is if you find the happy medium, it's a necessary in ways, especially if you're like an established thing, you know, and people know like, oh, like you said, like trademark lines or moves or whatever it may be, like that's what makes things iconic. You know? That's
it is
what creates that.
Well, and like whether people like it or not, if they're quoting it, if they're paraphrasing it, if they're paying homage to like the lines and the dialogue, it's like that stuff sticks with you. It's the same reason why like catchphrases in wrestling. It's like, well, it's like there's different forms of getting over, but if people start saying your catchphrases, it is getting over.
Oh yeah,
in one way or another. Like there's getting over in different ways. Not to tip too far into like wrestling at the moment, but like they're selling out. They're you being the reason why most of these fans are here or like sold tickets. That's one way of getting over. Like people chanting your name, buying your T-shirt, and all that. That's another. Like there's different like levels to it for sure. Obviously, being the one on the marquee match and selling the tickets is the one that's the main guy. You know what I mean? The main person. But there's a lot of different forms, like I would say. But that's one of them because, like, that's, they always say imitation's the sincerest form of flattery. And, like, that's kind of one of the things. Like, people start saying your stuff, you're like, all that, and that's one of the things that comes along with it.
Yeah.
But that's why catchphrases became such a big thing, because it's just like instantly a callback to that person.
And like
it's amazing how
something to lock with your character. Like, that's them.
It's amazing how we've gotten so instantly connected in that way in society. Like that, because if you find somebody, all you have to say is one line, and there's like a whole group of people somewhere that'll instantly be like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like, and you can say very little. Like, whereas you present it to a whole other group of people, they'll be like, what the fuck are you talking about? They won't know. But it's connected. It's what connects like-minded fans together,
Yeah.
So, well, before we get too depleted of energy, we'll keep rolling on.
Oh, yeah. I got, one more here.
Yeah, we'll just throw one more out, I think. At least this week. Maybe we'll go a little harder for part 8. See what happens.
Yeah. I mean, hell, we gave him some good stuff tonight.
Oh yeah,
though, on this and that, and the movie list. I feel like we reviewed the movies pretty well tonight.
We did.
It's always fun too to like dive into the horror stuff with this and that.
Yeah.
For this portion of the season.
We're gonna have some fun this or that. I feel like coming up because like that one was only. Because here's the thing, if we did a remake one at some point, I'm like, that one would be spicy because we'd all have some just spicy takes on how bad we think some of the remakes were.
Yeah.
How, you know what I mean? Probably a little more in favor.
Would like some more than others.
Well, and I think for the most part, though, a lot of us will be a little more sour towards the remakes than some of the sequels.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Because, I mean, I like some remakes, but there's that. We can do, obviously, the horror characters at some point. We'll kind of spread it out, but there's different ways we can go. So, but yeah, I think the sequels, that was a pretty successful segment. I think it was another way to look at it and compare everybody's follow-up to, like, their original project and be like, well, did it stand the test of time?
Or was it a flop?
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because some of the series were, like, had better movies later in the series after the second one.
Yeah.
It's like horror, that's one of the only kind of genres where that's going to work like that.
Hey, I disagree with people that are like, it's never as good as the original. It's like, no, there are plenty of times when the concept...
better sometimes.
The concept, the theme, the idea, like however you want to put it, the villain, the guy, whatever, there are definitely times when the story is not fleshed out enough for the thing to be at its most interesting. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the best way I could probably put it. And therefore, the original is not always the best.
No.
Given that's, because sometimes it's just like Terrifier, it wasn't bad, but it was scratching the surface for...
It's just kind of giving you the basic concept of the character, and they got some of a budget, and were able to, like, really build actual characters and create gore-filled art.
Same as the first Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Scratching the surface, really, in as great as the first Nightmare on Elm Street was, it was also in ways scratching the surface. So, you know.
Yeah. Halloween in Texas, too, both of them very basic stories, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's always common themes with horror, though. Bigger bloody count, more blood, you know, just kind of a more violent film. It's funny because sometimes it works out and they're like, oh man, that was a
Usually
worthy
add
follow-up.
some layers to
And then
the villain.
sometimes you're just like, what the fuck happened to the story?
Yeah.
Most of them tonight, I feel like we both put on there were pretty respectable sequels for the most part. I don't really think anything was like, I didn't feel that way about really any of them, that it was like shit. There's some that I'm more favorable to. I was trying to think of that, like the ones that I gave you. I was like, what is my least favorite follow-up, like sequel of all those? And I can't even. Some of them would be a little biased though, because I've still only seen Evil Dead 2 one time. I mean, I wouldn't probably say that anyway, but I've only seen it once. I've only seen Texas Chainsaw 2 once. So yeah, it was. No, I liked them though. It'd be different if I was like, watch it once, never again. Conjuring 2, I think I've still only seen one time, but it was pretty solid from what I can remember. It was also not as long ago as the other ones. So, didn't you just throw something out there?
No, I still gotta throw my second one out.
All right, well, let's do it.
Well, this past Sunday, my Cowboys and your Packers played to a 40-40 tie.
I'm glad you're throwing football out there because my last one isn't football.
Yeah. On a Sunday night that we both had to work on Monday morning.
Yep.
Kept us up till past 11 on a game that was very action-packed, you know, had high offense, a lot of, you know, I mean, all game, it was like just a back-and-forth offensive duel. And then just like, all right, field goal, they tied it, all right, game over. Everybody can go to bed now. It just felt so lackluster. But I get it, because you can't keep it going forever. It's just... So that kind of brings me to the point. What do you think of NFL games ending in a tie during the regular season?
Fair. But here's the thing. Once again, we have these quite often sometimes where a fair is pretty nuanced, and I actually had this talk with somebody the other day. It's like, while we can sit and claim and say, and in many cases rightfully so, that like, oh man, we deserve a winner, we want to see a winner, because like I thought the same thing. I mean, hell, we talked about it. It was like, it kept us up like quite a while even later and stuff. We wanted to see a winner. They went pretty much the whole distance. The Packers tied it up, even though they, you know, and I'll even admit, and I love them, but they did a piss poor job at time managing the clock towards the end, and lost kind of control and didn't know what the hell was going on. And
if
then
the Cowboys could have just punched the ball in any of the 3 plays from inside the 5,
yeah,
they could have won the game anyway.
Unbelievable.
So it's like, you can look at it on both sides
But
on that final drive.
here's the other thing, and this is important, is because it's the regular season, obviously we have to have a winner in the playoffs, so it's never going to end in a tie, regardless of how long it goes. But if you're going to do overtime, and I like how at least now it gives both teams a chance to score, if you're going to do overtime, you can only really go so long. And the other thing is, like, where there's, you know, there might be people that are like, oh, well, what about this kind of thing? Or maybe we should do some sort of a shootout type deal at the end, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, I don't want to see any reduced version of football in the game other than the same way the game is being played the entire time before the overtime. You know what I mean? Or, well, like during into the overtime. But the problem is, if you keep going more overtimes, the guys are going to be worn out. They got to play another rough-ass game next week, whether it's a short week or like a longer week. And it's not worth it because your team's already get riddled with injuries. So, I mean,
You could be playing like an extra 2 whole quarters.
It's not favorable, but at the end of the day, if this is what the result's meant to be, and we're not going to go into 5 overtimes where potentially nobody still scores. It's more worth it to just end it in a tie during the regular season than go an unpredictable amount of time where guys keep getting injured, tired, and are unable to fulfill their duties the next week. You know what I mean?
Everybody, I guarantee you,
I'm not a fan of the tie.
gassed by the end of that game.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the tie. It's not what I'm saying necessarily, but like, I understand it, and I would stick up for it rather than it be a reduced version of the game. Oh, we're just going to see how many people are the quarterback that can hit the most targets in the last, like, some dumb bullshit. It's like, that's not how you end the game. Like, don't do some stupid, weird game to end it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that's on the table. Because, like, I kind of fleshed out this opinion the other day. I mean, it's kind of the way I felt anyway, but I was, like, able to kind of justify what I meant because, like, sure, I would have loved for there to have been a winner to the Packers. Of course, it's indefinitive. Like, after all that time, Cowboys came out to play, Packers stayed with them, and then, like, it was just back and forth, and then it ends like that, even though win an extra amount of time. It sucks because I would have rather there been a winner. However, a tie is better than a loss, and I understand why they won't just keep the game going endlessly because, people got to play the next week. People got to get up the next day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a consequence of playing the game. This can happen, and that's basically just where I am in accepting it.
Yeah, I mean, I think
I'm not a fan of
especially
it,
the
right?
regular season, you kind of have to.
Yeah.
Like, at a certain point, I think 1 quarter of overtime probably is enough. Like,
Yeah. I mean, and you can mess with the time if you want to make it 10 minutes, if you want to make it, I don't know.
yeah. But, I mean, it is a bummer, but it's not the first time I've seen it happen. It happens every few years, it feels like.
Wild it happened to our teams on Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Of all times, and the first time they played each other in a year and a half.
It is crazy. It was a fun game. Frustrating at times, rewarding at times, but yeah, it just feels like almost like such a tease because you felt so close to the victory, and then it's just like,
We both felt convinced after a minute, like, just a little time left, I'm like, oh, it's ours, and then just it flip-flops. It's crazy how so much can still happen and has the potential to happen in so little time in football.
Oh yeah.
It's like...
That's what even last night, like, I know the Rams ended up losing that game, which so crazy. Mac Jones.
I know. Everybody was down.
He had a backup squad, and he was the backup quarterback, and he was hurt coming into the game. He was wearing, his ankles were all taped up, he had a brace, and he balled out. It's just wild.
It was like McCaffrey, and that was it. Everybody else was down. They had Mac. Yeah, it's like they were depleted.
Yeah, got it done.
Crazy.
But like Matthew Stafford and the Rams, they got the ball back down by 3 with 36 seconds left, and 2 plays later, they were at their own 30. And 2 plays later, they're down at the Niners 15 after 2 Matt Stafford passes. It's like, that's just how fast it can be. Boom, boom, okay, they're right back in it. It's that's what's so stressful about football too as a fan, because if it's a close game, you feel like you can breathe kind of easy. You're like, oh, it's only 49 seconds. We're up by a touchdown. We got it. They're getting the ball back. They got no timeouts. And then it's all of a sudden you're like, oh, fuck! They're down at the 10!
Oh, yeah.
And they still got 13 seconds. How the fuck did this happen?
Somehow they always can make up for it. And then other times when you're like, oh, man, they got so much time. Just minutes. Quarter goes by and nobody scores. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it seems like the fourth quarter that really happened. It's like once you get inside the 10-minute range in the fourth quarter, it flies. Because there's like usually one big drive or a couple big drives. It's like it flies down to like the 2-minute warning, and then the last 2 minutes drag. Especially if it's a close game.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I would probably agree. Like, I feel like a tie is a real big bummer, but like in the regular season, it makes all the sense in the world. You're not going to play more than one overtime quarter, and
yeah,
it's a rough game. You're not going to sit there and fight to the death out here with a bunch of weak, tired, beat down players when it's like we got to play again in 4 to 7 days.
I think the only discussion to be had would be like, should the quarters be 10 minutes or obviously no more than 15, which is a regular quarter, but somewhere in that range, I think it should be. I mean, I'm fine with 10, but I thought about this. Actually, it's really interesting you brought that up because I actually thought about this a lot since that day, since we watched the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not in terms of I mean, I just thought about the game a lot, and I thought about like what happened, and I was like, man. But I still, even after going over it in my head, like that's just the best. It's just one of those situations where it's like everybody may not like it, including us, but it's like at the end of the day, that's the best situation, or that's the best result for the situation they were in. I think, like, for it to be like these are the, you know what I'm saying, for these to be the rules. Like, I can't think of something better that would not, you know, be horrifically like wearing down the players. So, hey, it's a hazard of the game. It can happen.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'll throw out my last one. It's pretty random here, but I don't think it's ever been on here.
Usually it's pretty random.
So. Oh yeah.
Especially
Well, that's the
at this
point
in the show. You know?
That's the point. Yeah. Throw anything out there. Well, we've went to this place a whole lot back in the day, especially like when we were collecting a shitload of movies. And well, yeah, we took some adventures, found some good shit here. What do you think of Best Buy? But my Sony TV from Best Buy.
Yeah. I mean, they were like the electronics hub for a while. Like 2000s era and even before, you know, but that's kind of whenever I most remember going a lot. But yeah, they ate it up with their movie selection too.
They had a lot of Best Buy exclusives too, like sets and stuff like that.
Some cool Blu-ray sets, some cool Steelbooks.
Steelbooks, yeah. They were always the ones with the best ones. I got all of my Star Wars, like the newer ones since The Force Awakens on. I got all of those from Best Buy.
Yeah, they do have really a cool movie selection. It feels like nowadays, though, they're kind of like... I mean, I've been into a Best Buy a couple times recently because Haley's, like, ordered games online from them. And we just went and picked them up and stuff. But, like, I don't... Most of the time now, whenever I'm even going to buy movies, like... It is fun to go in the store still, but like a lot of times, especially if I'm like, oh, I want to watch this decently soon, like I'll just get the Blu-ray on like Amazon and get it the next day, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and if I want to watch it immediately, then I'll rent it. So it's just so accessible now with a lot of that stuff that a lot of the things Best Buy had to offer me personally that I enjoyed them for, like, it's not as much a thing for me anymore, you know, like, because even now if I want to buy, like, go somewhere and look at physical media for, like, movies or whatever, it's V-Stock's a great place for that too, because you can buy really reasonable stuff, and
it is cool going to Best Buy every once in a while though, and like seeing what they have. I haven't been in there myself in a while. Probably at least a year or two. So
yeah, I haven't looked around in there in a minute.
But yeah, I always thought it was. It's always fun to kind of see what they have, like especially during that like last era before like, everybody had a streaming service, but we were still like looking around for like all the shit that we wanted and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was dope. Like places have cool like different sets and different physical copies and stuff. But
Yeah,
it's kind of fun to collect.
One of those and they have the Geek Squad too, man. They got guys that'll just drive out to your house and work on your computer for you and shit.
I'm pretty sure they delivered my TV.
Yeah.
The Geek Squad or whatever.
Like, it's weird because it's one of those places that, like, I don't necessarily utilize them all that much anymore myself, but, like, because I do have nostalgic memories there, and they are, like, a physical media place and an entertainment hub and a thing like that, like, it's also a thing that I don't want to see go out of business.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I thought people were skeptical they were in danger, like, years ago.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're still here.
So for that, I might say it's slightly underrated because I want it to stick around. I want people to utilize it more. And
same as the theater.
Yeah. So just another place that, you can go find physical media and they're kind of like slowly disappearing, even if you even look at like some of like Walmart or any of those stores, like their sections now, it's like depleted.
I know.
So like it's horrible.
This place isn't shit of what it used to be. They're not.
You gotta buy all your physical media for movies and films and stuff. Like for any like online is just how you have to do any of that stuff now because it's just there's nowhere really that you can drive to and browse like that anymore.
Yeah.
It's like those places are disappearing.
Well, and even if you do, you're kind of just taking like a gambler's chance on whatever you're looking for will actually be there.
Yeah. That's why I do like V Stock and like with that Nickel Flicks when we went there a couple times because it's like there's so many movies that you're like there's a decent chance that if I have like a handful that I'm kind of looking for that I'm going to be able to find some of these.
Mm-hmm.
And usually they're reasonable because they're used. Which, with movies, that doesn't usually bother me. If they come with the case and everything, as long as it's not all scratched to fuck. Don't be selling me a piece of shit disc, But, yeah, I'd probably say, if anything, just maybe slightly underrated because I don't feel like as many people really think about or shop from Best Buy anymore. You can still get your appliances and your TVs and shit.
They sell like I'm pretty sure they sell dishwashers and
like fridges.
and like washers and dryers and microwaves and stuff like that. Air fryers.
They had like
they have all that
partnership
stuff
with like Maytag or one of those. They sell like LG appliances.
Yeah. Them too.
But
The Daylight in the Dark Part 7, baby.
It's in the book.
Part 7. And we are... Well, this is the first week of October, so we've got plenty of mileage to go in the month for you guys. Some solos, some guests. We've got some big episodes coming up. I mean, we're right on the cusp here of 200.
Yeah,
we got one
cracked into the into October and damn near cracked into the 200s.
Oh yeah, we've got one more episode remaining in the 100s, and it is time to move forward. So
almost there.
Everybody,
into the best time of the year.
Oh yeah, we are. Look at it, it's all decorated. We're
football,
we're going.
Horror, fall time.
They need to watch their football, put together their horror lists. Send them to us.
Yeah, I want to see some horror.
Yeah, I want to know what everybody's watching out there. So, let us know. Communicate. And we will be seeing you on episode 199. Thank you very much. Everybody, we hope you have a great week. Stay safe. And we will see you next time. Take it easy.